I know we've been very intentional about looking at representation from various employee groups. You know, we fill positions from year to year to make sure that group's still a balanced group. But what we sometimes continue to hear, is that when that group is led by administration, it doesn't feel like an advocacy group run by our employees. Doesn't mean that we're doing it wrong. It just, my question is, do we need to evaluate whether or not we need to look at a different mechanism or a different support? And I'm sorry, I'm going to say CBA, but I think that we need to begin asking our employees, do we need something different to be able to advocate for them, especially as we're getting deep into this project, we're doing some incredible things. Do we need to have an independent group that truly is a pure advocacy group for employees, that it's run by employees and it's represented by employees? So I'm just throwing that out as we talk about this feedback loop, whether or not that's something we need to think about as well.
And if I could jump in for a second, that was going to be one of my two other comments here is, are we sure that we have the conversation going all the way down to the individual teachers? And I know we used a lot of acronyms, you know, DLT, the district leadership team, right? So the more senior folks here in the district. Although I would offer maybe a different recommendation than Director Ray, maybe just consider, rather than looking at, say, a CBA, just what is the means of engagement? Is it an open forum? Do people feel free to comment when they have some disagreements or some possible suggestions? So I would put the same thing in your court. In this time remaining between now and when you make your final recommendation, my recommendation would be to concentrate to make sure you have a full depth and scope of feedback, and obviously not just the licensed, you know, all the non-licensed, and really make sure as many of those voices are heard throughout the district.
I do want to clarify, I'm not making recommendations. I'm really just throwing reactions out to you about your presentation and asking questions as we go along. I don't think we're at a place to make recommendations. And so please know that I'm one board director. I'm not speaking on behalf of the board. I'm just saying, have we thought about, can we think about? That's really my purpose as we talk about this presentation tonight.
That we're talking about a potential MLO. I think that's important for us to adopt this. I'd like to know what Plan B looks like. And I think whatever engagement process we have, that needs to be part of that presentation. And I think we need to expand the employee communication and engagement plan to just be an all-out engagement plan. And, you know, talking to our chambers, talking to all of our external groups, I think everyone needs to understand it. I think we should be talking to the Douglas County Federation. You know, they represent teachers. I think we need to be talking with as many groups as possible. I agree with Director Ray. Like, and this is nothing new. I want our teachers working hand in hand with us, developing whatever compensation package will attract them, will make them want to be part of this district. And I want to hear from them, like, what is it? It's not always the highest pay. I know we've always struggled with being competitive with pay, but when teachers have a voice in deciding what that package looks like and what their benefits look like, that's really good for us, and it's going to help us in the long run. So the other thoughts I just wanted to throw out there are our numbers. Are we looking at CU South?